Well, hello friends. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, I would like to discuss something that I am very interested in and very passionate about, especially considering the way that this thing has evolved through the last years, due to the influence of social media, which is self-care. I strongly believe that self-care needs to be normalized again. Please, let's normalize self-care again. Things have gotten a little out of control, if you ask me. And so what I want to do with this video is not only to give you some examples or some tips for what I believe is realistic self-care, also with an eye on the budget, which definitely doesn't hurt, but also to bring a few things to your attention that I believe should be discussed when it comes to self-care. So if this is your vibe, then definitely keep watching. But before you do that, don't forget to give this video a like if this is content that you enjoy, and to subscribe to this channel if you still haven't, because that helps me immensely and you can support me and the work that I do as a content creator. Thank you. Okay, first, I have my notes here near me, so I'm going to be taking a look at them every once in a while. First and foremost, I do believe that it's important to talk about what I believe we can call the TikTokification of self-care. I myself do not have TikTok. I live a perfectly fine life without TikTok. If you enjoy using TikTok and you find some value out of it, then by all means, go for it. Good for you. But I personally have downloaded the app once in 2020, and I'm not even kidding. After barely 10 minutes, I was so overstimulated and so overwhelmed that I have deleted the app and I have never looked back. So that's my relationship with TikTok. But I do really enjoy to watch a lot of deep dives on YouTube about things that happen on TikTok or very TikTok specific phenomenons, because I consider them to be kind of like social analysis of how society is evolving at some extent. Because when it comes to social media, I really feel like TikTok has taken things up a notch, and not in a good way. When it comes to self-care, I believe that the way self-care is being portrayed on social media, but especially on TikTok through these whole supposedly my self-care routine, my Sunday reset routine, is just being portrayed as a consumeristic act. Nothing more than that, a consumeristic act that involves dozens and dozens and dozens of different products and spending hundreds, if not even thousands each month in order to do self-care the right way. What we oftentimes tend to forget is that what influencers do on social media is literally their job. They're not portraying their real life necessarily. What they do it for a living. Their little job is to post content on their social media platforms in order to create engagement, provoke reactions, good or bad, it doesn't matter, because those reactions boost their content, and by boosting their content, they get more money. Also, when we see these elaborate self-care routine videos, influencers see these videos as an opportunity to create lists of shoppable links that they get a commission for if you shop through these links. So it's all about money in the end. Moreover, I believe that self-care is also through social media and influencers is being pictured as something that is extremely time consuming, that you need to make a lot of time for, that you need to treat as a separate event on its own, when in reality, self-care is nothing but a collection of simple, meaningful practices that you can build in your routines or in your days to find genuine physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being. Self-care does not have to feel like something complicated, but it's something that needs to feel good. Otherwise, if it's a chore, if it's something that we need to plan extensively for, then probably you're doing self-care wrong. Or at least I think so. And finally, I would like to underline the fact that I do not believe that self-care should not involve beauty treatments in any way. I really do believe that there are some beauty treatments or things that we can do on the outside in order to feel better on the inside. There's nothing wrong about it. I do believe that we should be taking care of our body and of our outside, so to speak, as much as we can, because our body is the beautiful package we are wrapped in. So there's nothing wrong in wanting to do something to our outside so that we can feel better on the inside, but it's more about how you do it and the intention behind it. I do believe that spending hundreds, or if not even thousands, won't help us fix anything. It won't fix you. If you're doing self-care with the idea of fixing something about yourself, then you're doing it wrong again, because that is an extremely toxic idea of self-care. We are good and enough just the way we are. There's nothing to fix about ourselves. Self-care is something that is meant to be making us feel good about ourselves on the outside and the inside, but there's nothing to fix. So if you're perceiving self-care as something that should help us fix something about ourselves, then again, you're picturing it and thinking about self-care the wrong way. Self-care is something that is based and should be based on your unique needs and preferences. It's not something that you can approach with a cookie cutter method. It's not something that you can copy and paste into your life or fabricate out of something that you see on social media. Find whatever feels good for you and whatever works for you as the unique, beautiful person that you are in your unique, beautiful life. But yeah, I'm just going to move on to some realistic self-care tips. Don't take these 100% as they are. This is just a loose list of things that I believe can be good self-care examples and ideas and tips. Please hear this. Hear me out. I do this every day. But when I need a very quick and easy and effective fix, there is nothing as powerful and as effective that makes me feel better immediately and that feels like the ultimate form of self-care than taking a shower and brushing my teeth. Which I know this is something that we do every day, but exactly because they are part of our everyday routine, we just tend to not focus on them as much or not to appreciate them as much. But if I had a particularly hard day, I'm particularly tired, I don't feel at my best, taking a shower and brushing my teeth makes me feel like a completely new person and makes me gain a completely new perspective on life. In general, having a good hygiene and grooming routine can be a great place to start when it comes to self-care. Something that I believe can be probably considered a little counterintuitive, because we oftentimes associate self-care with slowing down and being mindful and doing a little less of things, is decluttering, tidying up, and organizing. I am not suggesting you just need to go and Marie Kondo the heck out of your apartment or of your home, but it is a fact that a clear space equals a clear mind. If you are walking into a space or you are surrounded by mess and clutter and things thrown here and there, you're not going to feel okay. You're not going to feel like you're home. You're going to feel like you're messy, not only on the outside, but also on the inside. So doing something as simple as decluttering a bookshelf that it's way too full and it's giving you anxiety every time you look at it. And so this maybe is making you avoid to pick out a book and to find some time for reading, or you have a messy desk and you cannot think or work properly on that desk because it's too messy and cluttered, or whatever it might be that needs a little pick me up, just do it. You can do it by categories, areas, just decluttering or just doing a quick tidy up or reorganizing things up can be amazing. Moving your body is a great way to take good care of yourself, is a great form of self-care. If you're not a super sporty person, I get it. I go through phases in my life where sometimes I just don't even want to be talked about exercising. But something as simple as taking a walk outside, go out, take some fresh air, take a walk, find any possible way to move your body, because it has a fantastic impact not only on your physical health but also on your mental health, especially if you're someone that tends to, maybe because of work, to sit a lot and so you don't move enough during your day. It is absolutely fantastic, so move your body as much as you can. Meditation can be a great example of self-care. I have mentioned this in this list because I thought it was worth mentioning, but I tend not to be like a very big on meditation. It's just not for me. What I like to do is building some mindful breaks during my day to take a few deep breaths and maybe combine it with some gentle body stretches, even on the busiest of days. Like it feels like hitting the reset button and starting a little fresher in your day. It is so important to take those little moments to take a few deep breaths, acknowledging what's happening, giving yourself a little break, and then just moving on with your day. It is incredible how impactful something like this can be, something as easy and as simple can be. So if you don't feel like you have enough time or you just cannot be bothered with complicated meditation, even just a minute or two of simple mindful breathing can do wonders for you. Drink enough water during your day. This is so important. If you don't hydrate yourself enough, your body and therefore your mind cannot function properly. Don't you feel fresher or better overall when you drink enough water? I feel like I can think more clearly when I drink enough water. It is super important to hydrate yourself, and I know it can be a challenge. So there are a few tips and tricks like to hydrate yourself more, because you have to drink at least 2 liters of water every day. I know that for some people, water is a little plain. They don't just really like it. You can make your own version of fruit infused water. You can drink herbal teas, but it is super important to drink enough water in order to taking good care of yourself. What you put inside of your body reflects on the outside as well. So you have to be mindful about that. Read. And I mentioned this as a thing on its own because I love reading. I am a little bit of a bookworm, so I feel like this can be a great form of self-care. Not only because I love reading, and so I genuinely find enjoyment in the act of reading, but I believe that reading helps you to quiet down your mind if you need it, to provide a little bit of an escape if you need it, especially if you had a particularly busy day, you've been overstimulated, but also it stimulates your creativity and your curiosity. Focus on the things that you like and then just try to find books that nourish those interests and that curiosity. If you're not big on physical books, then there are audiobooks, and you can combine those audiobooks with other activities or even podcasts. I'm not big on podcasts, for example, but there is literally a podcast on every single possible genre or topic. So there is definitely something for you as well. This kind of like brings me to my next point. I treated reading as a separate thing, but in general, it's really important if you really want to take good care of yourself to make time for what you love, regardless of what there is. It can be baking, it can be sewing, it can be exercising and training for a marathon, playing an instrument, it can be anything, as long as you actively make time for it and you do it regularly as much as you can, because doing on a regular basis the things that you love helps you to reconnect with yourself. Otherwise, if we don't do that enough, we just go through our days wondering who we are, what are we even doing with our life, or what are we even doing on earth. But if you do on a regular basis the things that you love, you reconnect with yourself and you create regular tiny pockets of joy throughout your days and throughout your routine, which is super important. This kind of like brings me to my next point, because I feel like everything here in this video is kind of very much connected. And this is an art that needs to be mastered, but once you do, you start seeing things a little differently. Romanticizing daily life, cultivating gratitude, and celebrating and truly enjoying the little things. Because if you don't do these things, or you don't do it enough, you're kind of like going through your life as if your days were just the bare, sad copy of the day before. Whereas if you start treating your life as a beautiful movie and you start celebrating, truly celebrating the little things, even the tiniest, and you find enjoyment and contentment in your everyday life, things are going to feel so much different, and you're going to have a whole new perspective on life, and you're truly are going to feel better. So you're going to feel like you're doing something good for yourself. It's so important, especially if you're going through hard times or particularly busy, stressful times. Some people definitely need this more than others, but I consider being a couch potato every once in a while a form of self-care. I am an introvert. I have a chronic illness and I also have ADHD. So I never really talked about it, but I do have ADHD. And so my battery can be drained so quickly. So I need to actively make sure that I have time to just lay down and just watch a series on Netflix that I want to catch up on, or maybe lay down with a book and do nothing else. Physical rest is for me super important. And I feel like doing the act of physically resting can be a great form of self-care for your body if you're feeling tired, but also like for your mind. It's super important to slow down. So the physical act of slowing down your body can help you slow down your mind as well. In general, having a great bedtime routine or sleep routine. And this comes from someone who has struggled with insomnia for years, and every once in a while I still do. So I recognize that there's nothing more important than having a structured bedtime routine. For me, that can be like no social media past a certain time. So I turn off my phone and I put it away, going to bed by, even if I'm not sleeping, but making sure that I am in bed by a certain time. For me, it's 10 p.m. For others, maybe a little later, making sure that I wake up always at the same time. Like if you don't work on your sleep routine, if you, in general, you neglect your sleep, you're not taking good care of yourself. Let me tell you that. Again, I talk from experience. It's so hard to be functioning as a person if you don't sleep enough. Your body doesn't respond. Your mind is definitely not responding and shutting down. So good sleep is the key to be a happy, well taken care for person, if you ask me. Comfort food. Everyone has their go-to recipes or their go-to foods that instantly improve the way you feel. They make you excited about eating them or prepping them. It's something that is comparable to very little things in life. The excitement that can be behind a food that we really like and the memories or the feelings that we associate to it. So food can be a form of self-care, also because what we put inside our body deeply affects also the way we look on the outside. So you want to keep that in mind. You want to focus as much as you can to the most of your possibilities. Good, nutritious food that really is nourishing. I'm not condemning junk food because let's face it, everyone likes every once in a while something, a guilty pleasure here and there, but it's just about the intention that you put behind your nutrition. And if you create a little set of recipes or go-to foods that you enjoy and you turn that into something that is truly not only nourishing, but also something not boring, something that really excites you to eat. That is a great form of self-care that you can also enjoy on a regular basis because everyone needs to eat multiple times a day, every day. So there you go. Taking care of our outside can be just as important as taking care of the inside. There's nothing bad about that. Beauty treatment or, skincare or makeup can be a great form of self-care. I'm not absolutely denying that or condemning that. What I do believe it's important to focus on is how you do the external self-care and the intention behind it. You definitely don't need to buy a gazillion different products in order to do it right. We already mentioned that. You don't need to treat it as something that it's extremely time consuming or very spendy. It's the intention and the value that you give to these things. It can be super simple as making a face mask before you go to bed. It can be a manicure. It can be doing your eyebrows, taking a bath if you wish. It can be anything. It doesn't need to be something that requires dozens of products or hundreds of euros or dollars. It can be something simple without all of the bells and whistles. You do know what's best for you, but it's the intention that you put behind those skincare, makeup, and beauty treatments routines. Listen to your favorite music. I don't know about you, but my life would be so boring if there was no music. I love music and I make it a very big part of my life. And if you listen to your favorite music, your favorite albums or records, you discover new music that might be something that vibes with you. It's so great. It's a fantastic form of self-care. I personally like, and I do this on a regular basis, I like to throw dance parties for myself. So oftentimes in the evening, I just pop on my earphones. I turn my music on, like whatever playlist. Sometimes it's 90s, 2000 pop hits. Sometimes it's my punk stuff. Sometimes it's whatever. And I like to dance as if nobody's watching. And nobody really is watching because I make sure to close my curtains. So nobody is watching what I do. But I dance the heck out of myself. Sometimes I end up finishing these dance parties like completely soaked. I am so sweaty, but it is for me an ultimate form of self-care. I allow myself to shake things off, to be silly and light. And if you ask me, that is a form of self-care. So do whatever you want, but music is a powerful tool if you want to use it. So there you go. Quality time with people that we love. I strongly believe that we need to surround ourselves with people that not only that we love, but people that we have that have a positive impact on ourselves, that have positive vibes, because what we are able to give back what we receive. And I think it's super important. Nobody needs toxic relationships in their lives, and being able to enjoy the time that we spend with our loved ones, especially if we're not able to see them very, very often or on a very regular basis, is something extremely powerful. It can be a great form of self-care, being able to enjoy that time and really turn it into something that it's quality over quantity. It's just a great form of self-care. If you ask me, it's a great way to recharge your batteries and to, I don't know, to just take good care of yourself, I guess. Because we tend to underestimate like certain relationships in our lives. So I think it's important to celebrate them as often and as much as we can. Allow yourself to feel the way you do. There's nothing wrong in feeling sad, overwhelmed, anxious, you name it, name your emotion here. Sometimes you just need to acknowledge those feelings, accept them for what they are before moving on to something else. And that's absolutely okay. You need to be connected with your emotions in order to take good care of yourself. There's no way around this. If you connect with your emotions, you can truly connect with yourself. You are doing one of the most powerful things that you can do in order to take good care of yourself. Reducing screen time and using social media as less as you can. And I know, be told by me, I am a content creator, so this sounds a little weird, but I am actively trying to do this. Sometimes I struggle with it, sometimes I succeed, but if you want to take good care of yourself, especially mentally, the best and most revolutionary thing that you can do is put your phone away, stop bombarding your brain with thousands of inputs per second, and stop looking at how sparkly and beautiful and wonderful the life of other people always looks like. There are so many different things that you can do to replace that screen time with good quality time activities. You just need to find your own. And finally, if there's something that you need to take from this video, I want you to take this. Prioritize yourself. It's not selfish, it's human. You can't pour from an empty cup, so prioritize yourself. Know your priorities and say no to things that do not align to those priorities, and learn to set clear boundaries, which I know it's super hard, but it is the ultimate form of self-care. If you want to function as a person, if you want to take good care of yourself, you need to set clear boundaries. You need to know your priorities and act accordingly, and to say no to things that do not align with any of that. Because if you just keep people pleasing or doing things that are expected from you, and you do them just because you are expected to do them, every single time it's going to drain you. At some point you're going to be confronted with it, and it's going to hit you hard. So love yourself and do whatever you can. Find your form of self-care and just go for it as much as you can, because it's super important. If you don't do it, nobody else will do it for you. Don't forget that. I have been blabbering for almost 39 minutes at this point, so I think I can wrap up this video. So again, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, to subscribe to the channel if you still haven't, and drop me a comment. Let's just keep chatting about this in the comment section. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.